Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our Frosty K 0 to Hero KSM, now is KSH challenge. This is the final, well, I hope it's going to be the final episode, depending on how these keys go this weekend, but this should be the final episode in what has been quite a long battle. Longer than I thought it would take, and a lot more effort than I thought it would take. I don't know why. I thought it would be easy, but it definitely wasn't. Anyways, we're back, and first things first, I haven't opened the vault, but I have done a few more. I think I've done 4, but 3 of those were 2 of those were untimed. 1 was bricked. And then I timed an SBG 18, an AV 18, and then I just finished a nok'hud offensive, but we did not time it, but it was an 18. So I got some IO out of it. I haven't opened the vault for this week because I wanted to film it, which I'm doing now. And yeah, we're at 24-45, 55 points. And I believe if I get 1, 2, 3, if I get the rest of these 18s, it should be about how much would it be? Let's just say 8 points. Well, if we get 9 points, that's 45. That's not quite enough. I think if I get the rest of these 18, it should be enough for 2,500. I haven't really crunched the numbers, but that's my goal. If I need a 19 in there, I can just do an SBG and it should be easy enough. Yeah, this is it. This is going to be the final one. And what I'm going to do is, I haven't recorded yet, obviously, because I'm not close to 2,500. But for the dungeon that I'm going to hit 2,500, I'll just record the whole dungeon and slap it on at the end of this video. And then, yeah, we will be on our way. So this has been Tyrannical, Spiteful, Quaking week. Not too bad. Spiteful's super annoying when you're in melee and you forget that they're spawning and you get destroyed. Anyways, gear wise, I'm up to 412 because I upgraded my hoof to 411 and I have a crafted great axe with haze mastery, and I got the flavor pocket flavor thing, whatever it is. And I think that's it. Everything else is 411. I spent most of my valor on the trinket, so I only have 250 right now. But yeah, I can start upgrading things to 415, so I'm at 2,400. Yeah, let's go check our vault. Almost died, okay. I don't know what I want. I'm not actually sure, what did we do? I should have a vault full of 18. What is that? 418 item level? See what we get. Not sure what I want. So 2 418s and a 415. We have the mall. Let's see if it has anything on it. No, but it's a direct upgrade. Save some valor. Chain of scorched bones. Gain a little bit of haste. And a crap ton. Why did that say? Oh, and we exchanged mastery for verse, which the lariat is getting nerfed season 2, I believe, but right now I think I'm just gonna keep the lariat. And we have wrists with verse mastery. Mine are crit verse. And avoidance. Wonder if the verse and the mastery will be better than crit and verse. I'm gonna sim it. Sim this real quick, and then I'll be back. Okay, I sim the bracers, and it gives me, according to raid bots, plus 31. Not 310, not 3,100, plus 31 DPS. The question is, Do I want mastery instead of crit? I feel like my stats are pretty decent right now. I mean, I've only got a handful of dungeons left, so I'm not really looking to min-max. This would be purely for item level at this point. Yeah, I can just put a socket on something. So yeah, all good. I feel like my gear is pretty good right now. We also have our own key. Oh yeah, we got a bottled essence, so maybe craft. Not sure what else I would craft. Everything's pretty good. But we have an 18 AA for our key. So that's where we stand. Yeah, so this is just gonna cut to the final dungeon of this 0 to hero F tier. And actually, let's do a quick check while this down. If we go to Mythic, this is just this week. So Frost is still down here with Assassination and Survival Hunter for the week. And if we go to all, so they didn't move up. Now, I know these tier lists can be a little bit misleading because it's kind of a popularity contest in a sense. Like if there's not a lot of, like, look, there's 33 Frost DK. Where does it say N? I guess it's just the count of how many dungeons, and this is for from 21 to 29. It's like nothing. You look at Sub Rogue, you're at 16,000. Demon Hunter 13,000. And like the Frost DK and the Survival Hunter are down here 30 and 33. But yeah, still considered F tier. I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty good in raid right now. Running Breath. I've only raided, I think I've raided with this guy once. Yeah, so they actually put Unholy and Frost in A tier. Or Mythic. All bosses. I don't know. I mean, honestly, every class is good unless you're pushing like 26, 27, 28. You don't have to worry about this crap. Yeah, I've really had no problem getting invites either. And I've actually had better luck if I see a Blood DK hosting. They usually invite me pretty quick, you know, looking out for their Death Knight brethren. But yeah, we're going to cut to the final dungeon of this challenge. Let's roll. Alright, so our last key to get to 2500 is going to be a 19 nok'hud offensive. I decided just to record the dungeon and do a voiceover because instead of explaining what's going on, since, you know, we've done so many keys already, I thought I would go over maybe like the pugging experience, Frost DK, like pros and cons, and just kind of talk about everything. So we're just gonna let the dungeon kind of play in the background, and then I'll just talk over it. I also didn't have the DPS meters up. I was just kind of chilling out, you know. It's the last key to get to 2500, so just trying to have fun with it and not worry too much about all the DPS and stuff. But yeah, let's jump into it. First things, let's talk about the pugging experience. I will say, because I died there. I will say, because I started this challenge halfway through the season, it was, I think it was easier overall to pug everything. If you're starting this at the beginning of the season, especially a season 1, you know, everyone's starting at 0 and everyone's learning the dungeons and everyone's struggling and we don't know what the best classes are and all that stuff. But halfway through, you know, at this point I knew all the dungeons, most of the tanks knew all the dungeons, the healers knew what to heal, and everyone was pretty much on the same page for the most part. So I think starting halfway through the season on a challenge like this made it much easier. Another thing, I always hear these horror stories of people taking forever to get invited to groups, but I don't know if it was because DKs have B-res or maybe they thought I was unholy, which is a little bit of a stronger spec, I guess, right now. But I didn't have too much time getting invited to groups until maybe right now, 18s and 19s. So I guess if you're pushing above 20s where the best specs are wanted, then yeah, probably you'll have some trouble. But if you're just getting the KSM or KSH, you should really have no problem getting invited. The biggest problem is there's a huge pool of DPS, and you know, it's just like queuing for random dungeon fighter. It just takes a little bit longer because there's so many DPS nowadays. On that note, I think I only ran like less than 5 of my own keys, and I think that was, I don't know why I did it. I think just I didn't want to wait around, so there was a few keys I ran that were my own. So started my own group, invited everybody. Also, let's see here, I have some notes. Sorry, reading off the other screen. When you get to the higher levels, like 14, 15, 16, I realize that it is tough to skip key levels, sorry. So if you're at a 15 looking to get in a 16, a lot of the times the leader of that group wants you to have a timed 15 or even a timed 16, which is, you know, rare. But and even more so when you're at like 18, 19, 20, people are looking for, if they're hosting a 20, they're looking for someone who's done and timed a 19 for the most part. So they know you're capable, so that's just something to keep in mind. Now, we can go to, let's say, Frost DK pros and cons. Starting with the pros. Cool theme. I like the Frost with like the undead Death Knight theme. I think it's cool. I know that's not a big deal to a lot of people, but I think it's cool. Now with the new update where you can store 2 killing machine procs, it feels really good when you get, you know, 3, 4, sometimes I think I've gotten 5 in a row, and you know, have had enough runes to just smash 5 obliterates in a row, which feels really cool. It's I think they did a good job with that. Really good defensives, and well, yeah, I think anti-magic shell is one of the best defensives in the game, at least for season 1, because it stops everything, and it's just so good on 45-second cooldown. I don't know, it seems a little overpowered, but maybe I'm just over exaggerating. I love it though. The shell is the best. Death's Advance, really good for things that are pulling you around or you need to get somewhere a little faster. First boss in Ruby, Death's Advance will cancel that when they suck you into the vortex. What else? I'm sure there's other examples I can't think of right now. Death Grip, good to interrupt a caster, pull them into the pack if they're out in no man's land. Helps second boss of Azure Vault where she spawns the ad. I usually try and pull the ad to the boss so we can just cleave it down. Let's see here. Frost Chains of Frost. I think I forget what the name is, but it's a slow that you can use on like the ad in the first boss in nok'hud or the ad in first boss of Shadow Moon, just to slow it down. Good utility there. And we have battle res, so I think that helps. If DK didn't have a battle res, I think I would get less invites, but now everyone, there's like Paladin tanks have a B res. You know, Warlocks technically have B res. So I don't know if it's as important as it used to be, but still good utility. Frost DK is simple. It's like the biggest thing you gotta worry about is your Pillar of Frost windows and utilizing that correctly. Make sure you have enough runic power and runes ready to go when that fires off. And having Frostworm's Fury, you know, used at the end of that window for maximum damage. But other than that, it's basically just Howling Blast, killing machine procs with Obliterate, some Death Strikes, and, you know, Glacial Advance for packs of mobs. Pretty straightforward rotation. I know there's ways to min-max it, but with Pillar of Frost and the other cooldowns. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. You see Killing Machine, you hit Obliterate, put down your Death and Decay. They have good burst with large packs and if you have CDs. So I'll talk about this on the cons side, but outside, or if you have Frostworm's Fury, you got a big pack, you got Remorseless Winter up, you can pop your Pillar of Frost, you know, you can easily hit 200-300k. I mean, it's nothing like Devastation Evoker hitting 1,000,000. I mean, maybe I hit 400 or 500k, I don't know. I'm not paying attention to the burst when I'm pulling big packs. But it feels cool to get a big Frostworm's Fury. So with CDs, it's definitely possible to do some big damage. Now, onto the list of cons. Outside of CDs, and I would say on single target especially, it does not a lot of damage in my opinion. And it's heavily reliant on those Killing Machine procs. I know it feels like we get them, you know, almost every, 5 seconds or whatever you want to. It seems often, but when you don't get procs, it's very noticeable. It feels so bad. So yeah, it relies on those Killing Machines very heavily, and the Howling Blast, I forget that, it's slipping my mind, the proc for the big Howling Blast, but yeah, so I'd say outside of CDs, but I guess a lot of classes sometimes have that problem. Outside of CDs, the damage is meh, but with Frost DK outside of CDs, the damage is pretty lame, in my opinion. Another con, I would say, the last thing I have to say about Frost DK is I understand Death and Decay as a class talent, but it feels weird to play with Frost. Like Unholy has Blight? I forget. It's a talent in their spec tree that replaces Death and Decay basically, so it's the flavor is more on the Unholy side. And I'm not sure why they don't have something like that for Frost. Some kind of Frost circle or something. Because the flavor feels a little weird. Even though you're still Death Knight, so it's Death and Decay. But man, it feels clunky to... Especially on weeks where the tank has to kite like Sanguine. But I guess, again, this is also a problem for like Warlocks with like Rain of Fire. You gotta keep moving it. But... you need to be in your Death and Decay to get the cleave from Obliterate, and you get 2 charges of it. It just feels clunky in my opinion. Maybe I wish there was a way like Consecration where it's just kind of you can cast it as many times as you want. There's no charges. It's like not really impactful. I'm talking about for like a prop paladin. It's not really impactful. When your rotation, you kind of need to have it down for survivability. So maybe something like that for Frost would be cool. Just like a Frost aura or something. I don't know. It just felt weird. Like, oh, dropping Death and Decay. Well, hold on. Don't pull the mobs out of it. I'm going to miss out on huge amounts of cleave. So, I don't know, it just feels clunky. Glacial Advance also feels weird, where you're kind of like, all your skills are you're swinging this huge sword or axe, or you're like wrapping yourself in this cloud of frost for Remorseless Winter. Then you have Glacial Advance, where you kind of just like shoot out some spikes. You know, you can do it from range if you need to step outside of a spell or something, but yeah, it just feels weird. I don't know. It's really good when you have like 5, 6, 7. I don't even think it's AoE cap. I mean, I could just be making that up, but it does insane damage when you have lots of mobs. Maybe the animation is just weird in my opinion. I don't know. And then Frost Strike, I would say, should be buffed. When I use Frost Strike, it just feels like, ugh. I'm only doing this to spend runic power, basically, or get some procs off something. It doesn't feel good. I don't know if they can increase the damage of that, or if that will break something else. I don't know. Doesn't feel good in my opinion, but maybe I'm missing something there. Yeah, and that's kind of my thoughts about Frost DK. I don't know. I mean, there is one guy on YouTube who seems like the big dog, Biceps Pump. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He plays Frost and Unholy and maybe even tanks with Blood, I'm not sure, but kind of watch a couple of his videos. And yeah, those are kind of my thoughts about pugging and where Frost DK is. Season 1 has been interesting. This is the first season I've ever really pushed. I played a little bit in BFA. I didn't play any of Shadowlands, so this has kind of been all new experience for me, pushing this high on characters. What else? This is it for the Season 1 challenge. I'm not even sure if you guys are made it this far into the video. I'm just rambling about I don't know what. But Season 2, I haven't decided on what kind of challenge I want to do. If you guys want to maybe see a healer or a tank. I do technically main a healer. That's what I play in Raid, and my monk, as of recording this video, he has 5 of the 8 dungeons timed on +20. So I almost have all the portals. Kind of my end goal there. He's like 2665 IO or something. So almost 2700. And I do have a tank who's Prop Paladin 2100. Just kind of playing with my friends. Messing around on that. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the series. It seems like it was super popular. I know a lot of people like seeing... There's 2 sets. Like, everyone loves seeing the +25s, +26s. Like, the pros play to an insane level. But then there's another group that's like, oh, I wonder how Frost DK is like on 15s and under, you know? Something that I'm gonna play. Like, it seems reasonable. Okay, cool. I can play Frost DK up to KSM, and I should be fine. So I know a lot of people enjoy that, even though it's not the highest level of play, but still interesting to see, you know, someone else playing at your level to get an idea. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the series. It was fun for me. It was a lot more work than I expected. But I'm glad I finished it right before the end of the season. I only have this fortified week, and then one more tyrannical week, and that's it. And then May 2nd, Season 2 doesn't start, but it is the patch. Season 2 starts May 9th, I believe. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any ideas about a new challenge, I guess, for Season 2, maybe, I don't know if we want to do F-Tier or what, but let me know. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the series, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.